Here we go, episode 53 uploaded, coming at you as we get ready for another outstanding weekend as we are kind of chilling for the next 21, 22 days. Once again, hoping our Oaks and Derby contenders don't get sick, don't get hurt, or anything of that nature. Want everything to go off without a hitch, but you know there's always going to be something. So we'll get into the discussion about what's happening with the Derby leaderboard and who is committing to running and who has decided they're not going to run. But first, we got a situation coming up here where there's a chance to make some money. A nice stakes race. It's officially the final Kentucky Derby point earning race, although this will have zero impact on anything happening with the Derby. None of these runners consider. So it's just a horse race, right? Take a look at it. Grade 3, $400,000 Lexington Stakes coming up Saturday at Keeneland. Here's the thing about this field. It's a short field of 9 runners, but I feel like there's pace, right? I feel like there's enough in here to set it up. I got to tell you, it took everything in my body to not select the 4, Rolando. Everybody knows I'm on a Johnny Velasquez kick right now because he's just awesome. And I've been making so much money with him the last year. So he's going to be in the position to control the pace there with the 4. But he should have some company. Going a mile and a 16th here on the main track. The 6, Gosker, got a little bit of speed, and Irad's not going to be shy. He'll be close. Then Praetor, that's the 7. Yeah, he's got some speed too. And then I just feel like, because when I see the name Wesley Ward and Joel Rosario on a horse stretching out, I'm like, they're going to be forwardly placed, right? So I feel like there are 4 horses that have legitimate speed. Maybe 2 or 3 will actually go. And that's all we need, because we like native runner. And Jose Ortiz will be in the irons here. And last time out at the fairgrounds, going a rod of ground, really nice performance there in an optional claiming event. Broke the maiden going a mile and a 16th at the fairgrounds as well. Has a lot of experience going a rod of ground. And I just think will be in a great spot. And I really love the value. 15 to 1 on the morning line. I mean, there's a reason why the horse is 15 to 1, right? Because there's a little bit better quality in this field, but I still think they're going to get what they need, and we'll get what we need if the 5 scores at that price. Probably won't get that kind of value, but I still say that native runner is the value here, and let's see if they get a little bit of a speed duel up front to set it up for the runner, and that would be nice. So that's what's happening on Saturday with the Lexington Stakes. That's your pick there, the number 5 horse. All right, we've got a lot more to discuss here on this Friday as we get you into your weekend. So what we're going to be talking about now is all the movement, right? There's going to be consistent, steady movement and updates on all of your horses getting ready for the Oaks and the Derby. Take a look at your final Kentucky Derby points leaderboard. We talked about this already. The runners that are the first 9 runners all appear to be doing very well. They're confirmed, they're locked in to the gate for the Kentucky Derby. As long as they don't, have any issues, they're going to be there. Now, on the second page, things have happened. I mentioned how I felt like Owen Almighty had no business being in the body of the field in the race, but I felt like the connections would still run him anyway. I was wrong. The connections are smart. They said no. Owen Almighty is out. They're going to shorten him up, Pat Day Mile, stuff like that. They're going to shorten him up in distance and see how that works out. So that's a horse that was a possible speed horse that's now been eliminated, right? Okay. What's going on with the rest of the field? Well, the development here, we're still waiting on a decision concerning Flood Zone. They want to see this horse work out after he bled when he ran in the UAE Derby. So, okay, we'll give them some time with Flood Zone. We know Admire Daytona and Luxor Cafe are accepting their invitations and they're coming over here. So with Owen Almighty out, Flying Mohawk's going to slide in there. Heart of Honor may still accept their invitation as well. We'll find out. And then that leaves Grande on the outside trying to figure out where they want to go, which is an improving horse, and show I get it. They want to take a chance. But here's where things get intriguing. The connections of Madaket Road, sitting 23rd on the list right now, have indicated they want to run in the Kentucky Derby. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. The connections can do whatever they want, but why are you doing this? Your horse has 0 shot of winning this race. If you just wanted to go to a party, throw a party in your backyard. I just don't understand it. Even if you wanted to say, well, some of the longest shots in the history of the Derby probably shouldn't have been there. Man, I don't know about that. Mind That Bird was the 2-year-old champion Canadian horse, so he'd already proven he had some ability. He just had to get back into form. If you want to talk about Giacomo, he was a horse that was consistently closing in those prep races. If you want to talk about Rich Strike, he's a horse that absolutely loved Churchill Downs and had been closing in the prep races. He wasn't running last. So Sometimes those horses make sense and sometimes they don't. Matticat Road Connections, good luck to you, but I don't think you belong in the gate, and you're probably not going to get in anyway. The one horse that everyone is thinking about, oh, this horse has to get in because I love the way he ran, that's Beza. You right? He's the sexy horse right now. Beza with a nice performance in the Santa Anita Derby. I don't see it, but that's not, not to say that there's not something there. I don't see it. So this happens every year, and you just have to kind of go with it. There's always going to be horses where, for whatever reason, people start buzzing about them. And then I'm like, no, you got to do better than that for me. So we'll see what happens. But the point is that you're going to have this constant movement every single day as you make your way to Kentucky Derby and Oaks Weekend as well. So we'll talk more about what's happening with that field as the news continues to be released. All right. But wait, it's Friday. They're racing. So we're going to do what we've been talking about. One wager. That's it. Oh my goodness. Everything that we have picked is either won, run second, or run third. We ran third again on Thursday with our selection. So let's try it again. But this time we're going to do it. We're going to use our play of the day, so to speak, to play the $650,000 Maker's Mark Mile. What a great, great race. And this is such a situation where I'm like, man, I love a horse here. And he's going to be great value. The only question is, will he be ready to run off the layoff? And I think he will, because I think he was a little tired come September, October of last year. Graham Motion indicated that he ran the horse one too many times trying to get him ready for the Breeders' Cup, and he says he ruined him. So, all right, take a break, come back. Also, Johnny V gets back in the irons. They were able to win back-to-back runnings last year. So, Tricari, 8-1 morning line. I think this horse is absolutely live. It's going to be a really, really interesting race as they get set to go the mile on that turf course there. You've got horses like Integration, right? It's going to be really tough to deal with. The problem here is that we've lost a little bit of speed. The 5, Santorini, is out, and the 9, Seminole Chief, out. But you still have Northern Invader, who's going to provide some pace. Silent Heart should be pushing as well. Carl Spackler, the favorite's not going to be too far off. And so that puts, in my opinion, Tricari in a perfect spot. As long as he is fit. If he's fit, he's going to be in the right spot, and he's going to be able to make some things happen from off the pace. And I think he can get it done. And with the 2 scratches, we won't get as much value, so that 8-1 probably comes down to 6-1, 5-1, 9-2 at the absolute lowest. But I'm good with all of that. All right, so we'll take that money in the Maker's Mark Mile. That's Friday at Keeneland, and then roll that into the weekend. Get that money on Native Runner in the Lexington Stakes at Keeneland on Saturday, and then we'll see you again Monday of next week. We're going to recap the weekend, talk about all the money that we made, and then continue to study and get ready for the big weekend. Every weekend's big, but nothing is like Derby weekend. Trust me. All right. So that's going to do it here. In the meantime, in between time, until next time on Horse Race Bets, I'm Ken Rudolph. We will see you then. And hey, have a great weekend. Good luck and enjoy whatever you're into.